Hi, everyone, and welcome to No Recipe Required. I'm here with Cousin Jano under protest.
Under protest.
I did not warn her ahead of time that we were doing video, so thank you for participating.
You're welcome.
Despite my bait and switch on you. I lured her here with fried chicken and champagne. Well,
Truth.
champagne and sparkling wine. So as I've been doing Canada versus the world, this time we're doing sparkling wine. Can't call it champagne because sparkling wine from Canada is not champagne, but sparkling wine from Champagne is champagne. So that's what we're comparing here. May not be a fair comparison because champagne is champagne. The price differential on these two bottles, that bottle is almost 3 times the price of this bottle. But I tried to pick the best possible Canadian sparkling wine. And so this one is called Cuvée Catherine. It's from Henry of Pelham. It's $50. It is a Blanc de Blanc, which means that it is a white from white, meaning that it is made with 100% Chardonnay grapes. Just like the one, can you read the name of it?
Yeah, Remy Leroy.
Remy Leroy. That one is a little over $100 a bottle. And it is also a Blanc de Blanc. So I wanted to compare 2 Chardonnay-based sparkling wines to each other. So that's why I chose those 2 bottles. What else can I say? Yeah, usually, so Champagne is allowed to use 3 grapes. It's allowed to use Chardonnay, it's allowed to use Pinot Noir, and it's allowed to use Pinot Meunier. And so every winemaker is going to make their champagne with a different blend. Some might make it 100% Pinot Noir. Some might make, which would be called Blanc de Noir, which means white from dark or white from black. And some will make it 100% Chardonnay, Blanc de Blanc. And some will do a blend of both. And some will do 60-40, 40-60. It's entirely up to the winemaker's discretion. So that's sort of your primer on champagne. Why are we pairing it with fried chicken? Because it is a classic pairing.
Yep.
Champagne, fried chicken. I've also got some coleslaw that I made here. And so let's get started opening these bottles.
All right.
Okay.
Want me to open this one?
Yeah, you might as well. Just, it's easier if we each open one. And all right, so we take the foil off.
I am not the champion of this.
No, I'm not very good at this either. All right. Now, this little foil, it takes 6 turns, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keeping our finger on the top. You can keep the cage on, and all we're going to do is turn the bottle. And it's supposed to be a nun's fart. That's the sound it's supposed to make. The sound of a nun farting.
I didn't get a fart, but here goes mine.
It's there. Just a little.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't want your thing to fly out. You don't want it to spew all over the place. Whoop, there we go. Nun's fart.
I know how to open a bottle of sparkling.
And notice we are drinking this wine in regular wine glasses. We don't drink them in flutes because flutes don't allow you really to smell the wine. You want to be able to get the full smell of the wine, and you can't get that in a flute. So you just use a regular wine glass, a regular white wine glass. There are sort of newfangled special tulip shaped glasses, that we use for champagne as well.
Yeah.
So you can do that too. So let's first do a cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. And then we're going to give a smell. So the bubbles are beautiful, nice and foamy and frothy.
It's not, from what I can get,
kind of yeasty.
A little bit. Not as yeasty as some, but
it's not a really heavy scent. Like the intensity is not very high in the scent. But it's got that sort of lemony, but also yeasty and bready a little bit too.
And as you know, I have no sense of smell, so that part I leave to Leslie.
Oh yeah, that's really nice. Very effervescent, nice fine bubbles, so that it's doesn't taste like soda water. It's not big fat bubbles. It's nice fine bubbles.
Lemony.
Okay. Let me get 2 more glasses so we can try the other one. So that's our Cuvée Catherine. So it's got, like I said, it's a little bit lemony,
Yeah.
quite dry.
Yeah.
That was the other thing that I was hoping for, was to be able to have two wines that had the same amount of residual sugar, but I was not able to. So this one I think has about 8 or 10 grams of residual sugar, whereas the French Champagne has, I think, only 2 grams of residual sugar. So it's going to be a lot drier than this one.
Right.
Here we go, pouring the Remy Leroy. Or Remy Leroy.
Yeah. Well, it should be Leroy, but it's spelled with a Y.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. There we go. Again, really, really fine bubbles.
Yeah. Color is a little more golden.
Yeah.
Just a tad.
Just a little, slightly darker.
Yeah.
But again, nice fine bubbles. So
Yeah.
they kind of look very much the same. So you can
Yeah.
tell it's a Chardonnay because it's got that beautiful sort of pale gold color.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, this is a lot drier. This one's a lot drier. I have to admit that I actually prefer champagne that I don't want to say off dry, but they call it sec or sorry,
Yeah.
not sec, because sec actually is a little bit sweet. Brut.
Right.
So anything
Not
up to about
extra
like
brut.
say 12 grams of sugar per liter.
Yeah.
But the ones that are too that have the least amount of sugar, I just find, I don't know, I don't find them as flavorful.
Extra, yeah. The extra brut, yeah, is.
I would say these two wines are quite comparable. The only difference really being that the champagne is it's a lot drier. It doesn't have that little bit of sweetness that the Cuvée Catherine has.
I prefer, of the two, I prefer the champagne, not because it's champagne, but because I think the flavor is just a little bit, there's just a bit more to it.
Yeah.
They're not super juicy. They're not super over the top in terms of flavor.
So let's
But it has
try
a better
it
depth, I think.
with some chicken.
Mhm.
Because that's the other thing is that, and I think I've mentioned this before in the newsletter, is that food changes the taste of wine more than wine changes the taste of food. So drinking this and having the fried chicken's still going to taste like fried chicken. But then when I take a mouthful of the wine, it's probably going to taste a little different. That's damn good fried chicken.
Fried chicken. Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I made fried chicken.
I'm going to drink the champagne first.
That's really good. I'll have another mouthful. I know you guys don't really want to watch us eat, so we'll make this quick.
It does kind of, as they say, it does cut the richness of the chicken.
Yeah.
It really does.
So my final verdict, I was actually kind of leaning a little bit towards the Cuvée Catherine in terms, because like I said, I like a wine that's got a bit more champagne or sparkling wine that has a bit more residual sugar. But after having the fried chicken and then going back and tasting the champagne, it tastes way better now after having a bite of the fried chicken. And now I would say this is worth the... So this retails, the regular price is $125, but it was on sale at the LCBO for $105.
Right.
It was $20 off. And I had some air miles. I had $50 worth of air miles. So it really only cost me $55.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But I agree. And what I will say, when you have the chicken and the Cuvée Catherine, it has a better flavor. It felt,
there's more
to
flavor
me,
in it.
Way more flavor. It's picking up stuff from the chicken, and it's almost, from my palate, it's almost got a nice sweetness to it that was not there when I had it alone. So yeah, I would agree that, the champagne is champagne, but it would really, if you're like, oh, I want to have champagne, I want to have chicken and I don't want to have champagne, this would be lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 100% would recommend the Cuvée Catherine. This is a really, really
Yeah.
nice bottle of champagne. It's $50.
Sparkling.
So it's yes, sorry, sparkling. It's a slip of the tongue. It's affordable in comparison to a high-end champagne, and it is beautiful. It's really, really nice. Now, Cuvée, the Henry, I think, what did I say? Henry Pelham?
Yeah.
Henry Pelham. So they have like a standard sparkling wine. The label looks very similar to this, and it's a blend, right? It would be a blend of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, so it's not a Blanc de Blanc. And I think it retails for about $25 or $30. Yeah. They also have a rosé, which is also very nice. I've had the rosé before. So the Cuvée Catherine, whether you get the rosé, the white, or this higher end Blanc de Blanc, you will not be disappointed with this. So people who are like,
pair it.
Yeah.
Pairing it is the essential
thing. Have it with your chicken, because it really does make a big difference. Anyway.
Yeah.
So cheers, Jano.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.